In the tumultuous times of the Middle Ages, in a remote corner of the kingdom, lay the small village of Wolfgard. This village, surrounded by dense forests and rugged mountains, was known for its legends of creatures of the night and ancient superstitions. At the heart of Wolfgard lived a man named Aldrich, whose story was marked by tragedy from birth. The son of a peasant woman and a warrior fallen in battle, Aldrich grew up in the shadows of the forest, where legends of werewolves and wild beasts were constant whispers in the wind. From a young age, Aldrich demonstrated unparalleled prowess in the art of hunting. His golden eyes glowed with a primal ferocity when he entered the forest, and his agility and cunning rivaled that of any wild beast. As the years passed, however, a darkness began to grow within him, a shadow that lurked in the deepest recesses of his mind. On nights of the full moon, when the world was shrouded in the glowing silver of night, Aldrich would experience inexplicable changes in his body and mind. His muscles would twist and contort, his skin would be covered in dark fur, and his senses would sharpen to supernatural limits. He had become a werewolf, a creature of legend whose existence was feared and revered in equal measure. At first, Aldrich fought against his bestial nature, trying to suppress the savagery that burned within him. However, the more he struggled, the more powerful the beast within him became, until he finally succumbed to its dark influence. On nights of the full moon, he would become a relentless predator, hunting in the forests and spreading terror among the inhabitants of Wolfgard. Despite his efforts to keep his secret hidden, rumors about the werewolf of Wolfgard spread like wildfire throughout the kingdom. The villagers trembled with fear as the full moon shone in the sky, knowing that the beast lurked in the shadows, waiting for its next prey. However, not everyone in the village saw Aldrich as a threat. A young girl named Alara, daughter of the village blacksmith, had known Aldrich since childhood and had seen beyond the beast's fierce appearance. As the encounters between them became more frequent, Alara began to discover the humanity that still beat in Aldrich's heart, and she set out to help him find redemption. Together, Alara and Aldrich set out on a perilous journey in search of a cure for the curse that tormented him. They traversed wild lands and faced nightmarish monsters in their desperate search for hope in a world filled with darkness. Although the werewolf curse had been lifted, the scars of his past remained etched on his soul. However, with Alara at his side, Aldrich found the peace and redemption he had longed for, and together, they forged a new future in which light finally prevailed over darkness. And in the hearts of the people of Wolfgard, the werewolf legend became a tale of hope and redemption that would endure for generations. In a small village lost in the forests of Bavaria, during the darkest years of World War II, a terrible secret lurked in the shadows of the night. The story began with a man named Heinrich Müller, a German soldier who had been sent to fight on the Eastern Front. Heinrich, however, carried with him a curse that tormented him on nights of the full moon. He transformed into a bloodthirsty werewolf. On a full moon night, while Heinrich and his platoon were on a reconnaissance mission in a forest near the front, the moon was shining overhead, casting its silvery light over the land. Without warning, Heinrich was overcome with a sense of dreadful urgency, his senses sharpened and his mind clouded by a primal darkness. As the platoon advanced through the twisted trees, Heinrich began to notice a change in his own body. A stabbing pain shot through him as his bones stretched and his muscles contracted. A howl of agony escaped his throat as his transformation into a werewolf reached its peak. The night was filled with the wild howls and chains of soldiers struggling to contain the beast within Heinrich. But in his werewolf form, he was an unstoppable force. His claws tore apart everything in his path, and his bloodlust was unquenchable. The soldiers, horrified by what they saw, faced an impossible choice: abandon their comrade to his fate or face the beast in the hope of saving him. Amidst screams of panic and the din of battle, Heinrich lunged forward, attacking the soldiers with unearthly ferocity. Meanwhile, in the distance, a young nurse named Anna, assigned to the medical vanguard, had heard reports of Heinrich's platoon and its strange transformation. Bravely, she decided to go into the forest to try to help, not knowing what horrors awaited her. When he arrived on the scene, he was met with a scene of chaos and destruction. Soldiers were desperately fighting the beast that had once been Heinrich, while he, in his werewolf form, was mercilessly attacking them. Bravely, Anna fought her way through the fray, seeking a way to stop the slaughter and save the tormented soldier. With ingenuity and courage, Anna found a way to contain the beast. Using a mixture of sedatives and ancient amulets she had learned from her grandmother's stories, she managed to calm Heinrich enough for him to regain his human form. As the moon hid behind the clouds and the light of dawn illuminated the forest, Heinrich awoke, dazed and confused by what had happened. Anna looked at him with compassion and determination, promising to help him control his curse and find redemption. From that day forward, Heinrich and Anna worked together to keep Heinrich's inner beast at bay, facing challenges and dangers as the war continued. Though their path was filled with danger and sacrifice, they found solace and strength in the love and friendship they shared. And so the story of the werewolf and World War II became a legend of horror and hope, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the light of courage and compassion can shine through the deepest shadows of fear and despair. In a remote village, surrounded by dense forests and shrouded in an atmosphere of mystery and superstition, a terrifying secret lurked in the shadows of the night: the legend of the Blackwood werewolf. The story began generations ago, when a man named Jonas Blackwood was cursed by a dark force after defying the gods of the forest. Every full moon since then, the curse would take hold of him, transforming him into a fearsome, bloodthirsty beast. Legends told of the horrors the Blackwood werewolf had inflicted on the people over the years, of how it stalked the forests at night, hunting the unsuspecting and leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. One full moon night, when the sky was tinged with a silvery glow and darkness gripped the town, a group of brave young people decided to venture into the forbidden woods to challenge the werewolf and put an end to his reign of terror once and for all. Among them was Emily, a determined and fearless young woman who had no fear of the creatures of the night. Joining her were her brother, Thomas, and her lifelong friend, David, who shared her desire to confront the evil that lurked in the woods. Armed with torches and hearts full of courage, the group moved deeper into the dark woods, determined to find the werewolf and end his curse once and for all. But as they made their way through the twisted trees and dancing shadows, an uneasy feeling came over them, as if they were being watched by unseen eyes in the darkness. Suddenly, a wild howl echoed through the night, chilling the blood in the veins of the intrepid young men. The beast rose from the trees, its dark fur glistening in the moonlight, and with eyes glowing with a primitive intelligence, it pounced upon them with unstoppable ferocity. Panic gripped the group as they struggled to hold together and fend off the werewolf's onslaught. Torches flickered in the darkness as the beast surrounded them, its hot, fetid breath filling the air as it swung its razor-sharp claws. Amidst the chaos and despair, Emily remembered an ancient legend that spoke of an ancient talisman capable of weakening the werewolf and breaking its curse. With determination, she lunged forward, desperately searching for the talisman among the debris and undergrowth of the forest. Finally, his fingers closed around a cold, glowing object, and with a shout of triumph, he raised the talisman skyward. In a flash of blinding light, the talisman's power was unleashed, enveloping the werewolf in a sphere of dark energy and halting its advance. With a howl of agony, the beast retreated, its form fading into darkness as the curse that had tormented it for centuries finally dissipated. The group watched in awe as the forest fell into stony silence, the threat of the Blackwood werewolf finally eradicated. And so the legend of the Blackwood werewolf came to an end, a story of horror and bravery that would be remembered for generations to come. From that day on, the people of Blackwood could rest in peace, knowing that the evil that had lurked in the woods for so long had finally been defeated.